One particularly nice feature of the USF Canvas installation is it allows you to create courses on the fly. And this is a wonderful tool for practicing, and it's going to be something that we use a lot in this particular workshop because the central activity that everyone will be working towards is creating their own course shell. So the specific topics we're going to look at here are the creation of a new course, which turns out to be pretty much pressing a button, how to fill in some of the details of a course. We'll talk a little bit about some of the different types of Canvas content, such as discussions and pages and quizzes and assignments and so forth. We'll take a look at the page editor, which is where you put a lot of the content that you'd actually write as opposed to uploading as files. And then we'll look at the customization of the home page and the customization of the syllabus page. And those are the things you typically want to do right when you're getting started with the course design. And then throughout the workshop, we'll look at ways that you can actually populate the course with content. So creating a new course shell is quite easy. The first thing I will do is I will log into Canvas from my USF. Then I will scroll down, start a new course. The folks at Innovative Education suggested beginning the course with your name, so Grandin, and then we'll call this Online Teaching Workshop. Online teaching. We will make this course publicly available, and then I will click on Create Course. And now we have a new course. And what we're looking at down here is the course setup checklist. And we will go through some of the elements of this, but we won't go through them in order. So I am just going to dismiss this. And now we're ready to start customizing the course. So once I have a clean shell, usually the first thing I do is I go and take a look at the settings so that I can modify some of the course details as necessary. Some of the details are not even relevant. For example, I'm told that the 50,000 megabyte or 50 gigabyte limit may not even be correct, but at any rate, I will then go into course details, and I can change the name of the course and so forth. I can set up terms, which I'm not going to do here. I want to keep this thing around. You can put in comments for Turnitin assignment. This is just typically a warning that Turnitin will be used. You can create grading schemes, something you can learn about on your own. I've never used them. And you have the choice of making some stuff publicly visible. I tend to make my courses public to the greatest extent possible, so I'll make the syllabus visible. I'll add some more options. The one thing that I always forget to do, and it turns out to be a problem, is this option here: let student attach files to discussions. A lot of times I will use discussions as a way of handing an assignment so that students can look at what each other has done. And this is central to things like peer evaluation. So as a consequence, it's important for me to allow them to attach files. At the moment, those are the only key things that I'm going to adjust. In the settings page, you can also adjust the navigation. We'll talk about that slightly later. Apps is beyond the scope of this course. Feature options typically does not have an awful lot useful. I talk about sections at the very end of the class. However, I would discourage you from using sections after my experience this semester where the use of sections actually really screwed up first day attendance. So right now, the main thing you're going to want to look at is the course details. My next stop in setting up a course would normally be to modify the home page and the syllabus. But before going into that, I want to briefly talk about some of the different types of files and activities that Canvas supports. These show up typically in gray in your navigation menu. Typically you will want to remove these from the menu before students, and we'll talk about that when we get to navigation. But if you take a look, Canvas has a variety of different types of contents. They have got page content, which is the default type of content for providing information. It gives you a page editor, and we'll use that when we get to the syllabus and the home page customization. It stores files in a separate area. These are all the files that you upload, which is very common to do. Assignments include things like assignments that you can submit, and also assignments that involve discussion groups, which is the next category. Outcomes is where you create rubrics. Quizzes is where you put quizzes and surveys. And modules is what we use to organize the course. There are a whole bunch of other capabilities, but for the time being, what you need to realize is that most of the content that you'll be creating in Canvas will fall into one of the categories that I just described. At the moment, the process for customizing the home page in Canvas is a little bit buggy. I think it's going through a transition, but I will show you the process that I can use. Chances are by the time you look at this video, there will be a somewhat simpler and more self-explanatory process in place. We'll begin by taking a look at the home page, and the default home page is the activity listing in Canvas, which lists upcoming things that might be happening and message traffic and that sort of thing. If we click on Edit Home Page here, we can select our own page, in this case Pages front page, or we could also get the list of course modules, the assignment list, or the syllabus pages. So I'll go Pages front page and I'll click Save. And what you would expect is that it would take you directly into the page editor, but you'll notice that it still shows the recent activity workshop. What we then need to do is we need to come down to Pages, and we need to actually create a front page. So I'll add a page here, and I'll call it Front Page. Though I don't think the name actually matters. I think it's another setting that we'll see shortly. And rather than make you wait for me to type things in, I've already created a little text file. So I will come down here and paste this in. Then what I'll do is I'll turn this into a list here. Oops, oh, that's right, that won't work. I'll have to turn it into a list line by line. Oops, and apparently that won't work. Hold on a second. So I'll hit enter. Hit enter here. I'll turn this into a list. Then I will backspace. Then I'll delete, hit enter. Delete, hit enter. and so forth to get my list. Okay, so now I've got my list. I'll get rid of those spaces now. Or apparently I won't. Get rid of the list. Get rid of that list item. Okay, that looks acceptable for our purposes. I'll now click Save. So now I have a front page, but what I now need to do is maybe brighten it up with a picture a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back into edit mode. I'm going to copy this, cut it, and I'm going to use a technique that's often useful when you're trying to put stuff in and format it. I will add a table. So I will click on Add Table, and this, what I'll do is I'll make it 2 columns and 1 row. I won't put any borders, so you won't actually see it's a table. We'll just use it for spacing purposes. And I'll just click Insert, and that will give me an empty table. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stick a photograph in the table, and one of the ways I can do this is to click on Embed Image, and it'll give me some places to look for an image, and I'm going to go into Canvas, My Files, because I actually know that I've got a profile picture here that I can use, so I will update that. Now we have a photo. Then over here I'll come in and paste that text that I just copied. And now what we have is something that looks a little bit better. I might have adjusted the table a little bit, but I don't want to waste your time here. So now I'll save that. So now I've got a a picture and a list. And I'd probably make something a little more elaborate for a normal course, but for the time being, this will be satisfactory. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Pages. And if you take a look here, you'll notice there's a Publish cloud. A lot of times you want to click that. So now we've got it published, which makes it available. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on Use as Front Page. And you can only have one page set as Use as Front Page. Now that I've got it set as Use as Front Page, if I come to Home, with any luck, we'll see the page that I created as opposed to the activity page. And that is what we are seeing now. The other page that you may want to customize for your course is the syllabus page. Now, the syllabus page is, wait for it to load, is automatically populated with all the key dates in your course. Right now, I don't have any key dates because we're just starting this shell. So as a consequence, it's empty. But students pay a lot of attention to these key dates, much more in Canvas than they used to do in Blackboard. And a lot of people just leave the syllabus blank, this area up here blank, and just allow the students to look at the dates. I like to actually customize it a little bit and actually give them some information from the syllabus itself. Though what I will also do is include a hard copy of the syllabus, or rather an electronic copy of the syllabus in the modules as well, so that they can look at the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is show you the type of thing that I would probably do for my syllabus. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to edit the syllabus description, which only covers this top part here. And if you actually take a look at the way my syllabus for this workshop is organized, it's in a series of sections. This is the Word document. And what I can do is I can actually use the Word document and do some cutting and pasting. And what I will start by doing over here is once again use the table feature. And this time what I'm going to do is have a one-column table with 3 different rows, and I'll add a 2-pixel border there. This time I actually want it to look a little bit like a table. So now what we do is we have the table is now here. So what I will do is I will come in and I will paste my objectives. You can see part of that paste off the screen, and I'll paste that in here. And it does a reasonable job of preserving word formatting. We'll do a little bit of reformatting after I bring everything in. Organization. And then we'll come over and do the last one, the schedule here. Okay, come down, paste that in. And then the first thing I'll do here is save and see what it looks like. I'll probably do a little bit of reformatting just to clean it up. This isn't too bad. Now, one of the things you do see is some big spaces here. This is because I've used styles in my syllabus. And so what I might want to do is come back and edit that description a little bit and maybe just clear off some of those styles. If I click here, you can see this is a heading 3. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this font to the normal paragraph. Well, I just have to select it. Oops. Let's come over here. Ooh, have a little trouble here getting the selection. Be a little more careful. All right, here we go. I'll change that to a paragraph font, and then maybe bold it, italicize it. I'll change this one to a paragraph font, bold it, italicize it. Oops, I already had it italicized. Okay, there we go. Then what I'll do is I will come down and update the syllabus. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. But now what will happen is the dates will get posted in below this, and then the main part of the syllabus students will be able to see when they click on the syllabus link. And as I say, I'll add some syllabus information to the modules as well, so that they can actually look at the entire original syllabus document.